Um, Good evening, Mr. Wong. Are you in yet?
Yes, just got in. Thank you. Sorry, I'm late.
All right. Just take your time. I mean, oh, hi.
Yeah. Okay, hi.
How are you?
Welcome.
Doing well? Keeping well? Right, sure.
Yeah, surviving.
Yeah. It's good that, okay, it's good to hear that you're busy now, so that means business is picking up, right?
Yeah, picking up, but still cannot survive.
Yeah.
Doesn't make end meet, yeah lah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, well, okay, we just jump into the session. Right.
Yes.
So
can I start my screen?
Yeah, you can start your screen while I introduce you and also I tell you about the background of the course, and then and then to introduce you. All right. So Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening to everyone. We are so pleased to have Professor Anthony Wong, who is now a experienced businessman. And he is now, among other things, he has been for some years the founder, CEO of the Frangipani Resort and Spa in Langkawi. I'm sure many of you have visited Langkawi pre-COVID for vacations. So Professor Anthony Wong is among the first. I think he's the first pioneer in ecotourism, at least in Malaysia, way back in the 70s. And now ecotourism is now a big thing, and because of the food crisis, so many people are going into not only eco tourism but also agro-eco tourism, and so that is a kind of a value added thing to the eco part. And so and Professor Anthony Wong is an expert in agro landscape design and expert in wastewater management. His place is, the wastewater on his resort is treated on site, and so on and so forth. So he has a vast experience in the hospitality sector. Pre-COVID, his company has another company, the Asia Overland company, was one of the biggest event organizer in Malaysia. So with that, and also I just want to let you know, Professor Anthony, that the Islamic gift economy has been going on. It's like, okay, it's an online Zoom course that's been going on for the past 2 years, and today and the current offering is the, I think it's the eighth offering. So and we have students from all over the globe, from Australia and US and Dubai and so on. And many of our students, they are like professionals, some are students, some are business people. Many are professionals in various industries, and our common concern in this course is to revive the concept of right livelihood in our approach to business, to commerce, to work. The concept of wholesome earning from ethical businesses. So And a big feature of the course is that at the end of the series of formal classes, we invite guest speakers. We invite guest speakers who are practitioners in the area of right livelihoods, who have actually walked the talk, right? Like people like you and many others. And I think Professor Anthony, I think it's now the second time that I've invited you. The last time was, I think, like last year. So this
yes.
is second time. But last time was I think, what was it, pre-COVID?
Yes, pre-COVID, before COVID.
Now,
yes.
now it's post-COVID, and interesting that I mean, so I'd like to learn from you, and especially how to you manage, I think, to
survive.
to survive and slowly bringing back business to your place, and hopefully, God willing, the future will improve. So we all like to learn from your background, and especially how to I call it go through the up and downs of business in a way that is effective and yet ethical. So with that, the floor is yours, Mr. Wong. Please.
Thank you, Dr. Adi. I'm now, because of COVID, I have to close my conference business after 29 years. My travel inbound company, Asia Overland, which is one of the biggest, from 130 staff to about 20 overstaff. I closed the company, the hotel company, for 6 months, retrenched everybody, and started again in August 2020 with about 30 staff of old staff. But out of the old staff, only about 5 or 6 are left behind, because many had mindset they did not want to multitask. So it's almost a new team now. I have about 60 people, not running a full hotel, because we know that it will never be full currently. So we do about 70%, about 80 rooms for the time being. Yeah, it's been very challenging, been very, very tough. We are fortunate the government has opened in September 2021. I only started getting my managers in about December, because there was no cash flow, very few guests, and my general manager or resort manager just came in about 5 weeks ago. So, but staying here, did more research, did more sustainable practice, and Langkawi is an island about 60% the size of Singapore, because you have got some foreign guests you mentioned. It had about 120-30,000 people, but because of the COVID, 90% depend on tourism. About 30,000 people have left the island. Those working in restaurant, in hotels, because nothing to do. Yeah. So, but from day one, I wanted it to be the greenest hotel. I'm an environmentalist and a naturalist. I started the nature guide course in the country. We were pioneers in nature tours in 19 company Asia Overland. Only in 1986, the tourism ministry was started, and that year was also starting from nature tour. They call it ecotourism. So we were much ahead. Now this is a hotel that sits on 10 acres of land. We just purchased another 1.3. So islands have more difficult issue, because we got issue of water, energy, waste, and buildings have to be green. Yeah, that means we just have to design it, say, to save energy. Yeah, so there are many things involved to make the business sustainable and green, and we have many partnership with academia and government, because we cannot do everything ourselves. We need partners. why we look at the big picture. Being an environmentalist and a naturalist, we need to influence others, we need to share, we need to teach. In the long term, we all have to do something positive for Mother Earth. It's not just our resort, but to influence as many people, yeah, within the country, within the region, within the world. Now, of course, like everything else, you need to have a vision. Yeah, we are the greenest resort now, not only in Malaysia, but the whole of Southeast Asia. We have got the mission which to be the leader of green hospitality. Yeah, and we continuously improve our environment. Yeah, we need to do research, and we believe in science, education, and innovation. We have done many innovative work that I will share with you here as we go by. Now, islands have always got this issue: water, waste, food, heat, pollution, and erosion. All these are addressed in our 200 ways. Continuously, we are actually improving. Yeah. Now, it's always good to follow the UN sort of concept of 17 sustainable goal. If you can achieve that, you are doing something very, very positive. You don't have to do all 17, but I always set high goals so that we can move much better. Yeah, some people are happy with 3, 4, 2, but as a naturalist and environmentalist, we try to fulfill all the 17. Now, this is a breakdown of the 17 in no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being for the people, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation, infrastructure, reducing inequalities, sustainable city and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below the water, that means you keep, the sea, the river, try to life clean, life on land, peace, justice, strong institution, partnership for goals. Yeah, these are all the 17. Now, we have actually been able to tick all the 17 boxes. I will go through with you. Yeah. Now, no poverty. Yeah, we have always been sharing, teaching. We support all the charity organization on the island, but we also do it all over the country. Yeah, and we teach people how to survive through farming education. I teach in NBA. Yeah, I am a adjunct professor in 3 universities, but I'm a visiting professor in about 10. Yeah, locally and internationally. So a lot of the things we do is not just looking at the hotel, but we look at communities, we look at, helping as many people as we can. Yeah, and sharing best practice. Yeah, good health. We charge our organic food like normal food so that people enjoy it. Yeah, we also just now from 5 o'clock to 6:30, I was teaching online, 100 over people. Yeah, so this COVID thing is now able to reach a lot more people. I don't have to go to university. I don't have to go to professional places. I teach online. Yeah, this is my 3rd or 4th online talk this week. Now, the whole idea when I do my farming is to educate as many people as possible, local community, and we show people they don't have to buy anything. No need to buy fertilizer, you make. No need to buy pesticide, you make. And no need to buy special pots and things like that. You use recycled material. In nature, there is no waste. You use everything. Yeah. And we have developed new way of composting, shortcut. Yeah. We've done rainwater harvesting. Water is very important. You know, I believe in future wars will be fought over water. Yeah. So I spend a lot of my time myself in farming, natural farming, because food is an issue and there's no organic farm school in the country. You do have some permaculture people offering permaculture courses and things like that, but not that many. And to do integrated organic farming, you really have to be hands-on in this country. Yeah, university are not teaching integrated organic farming because we got no more agriculture in our secondary school. We got no agriculture university. So I believe the individual have to take the lead, community has to lead, association have to take the lead. Now we're talking about quality education. Yeah, we have English camp for some islanders. We do our walk, we do sea activities. You know, we are always trying to find how we can improve education. I teach in engineering, I teach in architecture, I teach in biotech. You know, it's all no cost. I mean, we don't charge anything. Pre-COVID, I had 3 full-time environment officers, yeah, to share what we teach. But as I say now, it's very challenging. We cannot meet, you know, we are out of our pocket. The business is growing, but it's not sufficient to cover our overheads. So every other day, we bring people on our tour. We teach them, you know, the area we touch has got engineering, has got architecture, has got environment, has got tourism, because we are in the hospitality line. We're trying to encourage people to be multidisciplined. We also have a program, What's the Sea on Marine, and we tell people why the pollution is affected, you know, more jellyfish, and we educate people on the type of marine life, yeah, that we catch along. But we also, that is also our lunch on the beach, yeah. It's the old system called Pukat Tarik. We have a 200-meter net. We go out onto the beach, onto the shore, and then we pull out. And it's fun for the kids because they enjoy the learning. That fish that I make them stand there is called tripod fish or ikan lembu, you know, cowfish. We sponsor English camp for kids on another island. Those who has picked up English, who are good, the top 30 students, we bring them to our hotel for a 2-day program so they understand that if you want to be involved in hospitality and tourism, you must improve your English. Yeah. Well, we in our organization, not just the hotel, the travel, the conference, we give equal opportunity to women. Yeah. 2 of, you know, the head of the CEO of my travel company is a lady. Yeah. Now, in terms of water, it's interesting because we have so much water in our country, but we are not managing it well. But we also have a lot of polluted water that costs money to treat. Now, this is an area that we have mastered. We can treat almost any polluted water to drinking standard using plants and microbes. It has taken me 30 years, but the government gave me the highest environment award in 2011. And in 2017, they recognized a system of constructed wetland, and I drafted out the technical act. And Penang University, USM, has adopted the system, and they say, wow, you are having the fastest system that can treat wastewater. How come? Can you give me other case study? So I develop it, and I grow the fastest growing plant. Others don't, grow the fastest growing plant. I do, so that they can act on the polluted water faster. So that's part of the formula. Yeah, we have about 1 million liters. We have 125 4,000 liter water tank beside our pond and our few ponds. So that's only stored rainwater, because Langkawi has got a distinct dry season between December to May before the rainy season, about 6 months. So, and we save 12,000 ringgit every month. That's pre-COVID when we had a lot of gas. So it cost us 300,000 in the beginning. And a lot of my friends said, when do you think you get back your capital? I worked on 8 years, yeah, but water rate went up about 40% the first 5 years. So I get it back in 6.5 years. But now it's already 16 years and water tanks are still there. So one has to think of long term, cannot think of short, next year or 2 years time. Well, we have 6 EV, electric vehicle. We have solar, hot water, second generation now. We have solar photovoltaic, solar panels. Yeah. So technology is there, we have to invest. The solar panel, they say you get it back in 10, 15 years. So it's our belief we may not get it back because the quality of electricity reduce as time go by. Yeah, but we need to believe in it. And in terms of architecture, if you can get it right, you actually save energy. We grew a lot of trees. 16 years ago, 90% of the trees in our resort today were not there. Trees and plants, we have managed to grow on sandy soil. The former owner could not grow, so it was very, very bare. So you need innovation, yeah. But when I say architecture, it's also landscape architecture, yeah, passive architecture. Yeah, it's an old hotel, but we renovate continuously to improve the sustainability. Now, of course, we use a lot of natural lighting and a lot of plants, and we don't throw things out. The waste bottle we put into the wall so that, we somehow find a way to reuse the bottles. Yeah, we have outdoor toilet, shower. In that sense, you don't have to turn on the light, and then you use less water when you're standing out showering. Now this is passive cooling. The sun will shade the compressor, yeah, during the morning till afternoon. And then if you can see the compressor, there's a pail down there. We harvest the compressor water during the dry season is important. And you get 8 to 12 liters of water, about 13 hours operation. And that just water the garden. Yeah, and the aircon, we actually can run it to the urinal. You don't have to, in your office, you can do the same thing instead of just, sort of the compressed water, you just channel it to the, yeah. Most people do that. Housing the rainwater, the air compressor water. Now, this is just new. I built it about 3 months ago during COVID. When we opened the new bar. Now, you can see right at the bottom, these are thick wood that people throw away. Yeah, the branches. So we slice it up and it's part of our standing bar. You see the fencing, this is a one-story bar. Upstairs, all are branches from the trees that we cut. And the bottom, you can see it's a tree that is from our garden. We cut it and the branches comes out through the first floor and that holds a round table. Yeah, everything 90% all from the garden. So this tree fell close to my villa. It broke my roof. It's called Pacific walnut or New Guinea walnut. The local call it singkiang, pokok singkiang. So you can see the round table that we have made. Yeah, we are lucky we have got some Indonesian artisan, very good carpenters. Yeah, we cut it out. Special skill to slice it with a chainsaw. So that's how the tree bar, the bertam is from the forest. We asked the villager to go in and you can see the beautiful color of the wood when you polish it and then you put clear epoxy. So you can see the wood crack. I mean, there's a crack. So collect seashells from the beach and with resin, we just put it inside. Nature provides and it's beautiful. Yeah. And this is just done about 3 months ago. And everything mostly is from our 90% from our garden. So that is being sustainable. That's, you know, have more green practices. So we're talking about green architecture, natural lighting, natural ventilation. We grew a lot of trees to keep the heat in. We use a lot of charcoal. Charcoal biochar is actually carbon negative. Yeah, we hold the carbon onto the ground. The design, open air concept, solar energy, solar dehydrator we use to dry. So we use a lot of natural things that Mother Earth provide us to yeah, so that we don't use real electricity. We use a lot of natural. We use the sun. Yeah, this is our solar dryer. So you don't get in the rainy season, you don't have to run in and out. Yeah, it has to be placed east to west so you catch the sun. Yeah, and you can see all the decking. Those are with stainless steel netting, and we put dry our frangipani flower for tea, our moringa leaf for tea, mulberry leaf for tea, our frangipani flower for tea. Yeah, so we can dry many things. No need to use electricity. Yeah, you can ask, of course you can dry your fruits, but we need to be very clean. Yeah, we have 1.5 tons of mango, so we could actually dry the mango also. We get about 1 ton of papaya from our landscape. Yeah, edible landscape. Now we teach people. Yeah, that's where I teach in the architecture and engineering society in terms of energy, in terms of water, constructed wetland. And recently we got 40 million directly from the Treasury, Finance Ministry to create wetland to treat wastewater. So to make it, you know, no wastewater go into the sea. Yeah, and that will be good for everybody because the wastewater becomes good and hopefully we can get second harvest of paddy in Langkawi because water issue. During the dry season, 6 months, there's no water, you can't plant paddy. But with the system that we have, you know, with little energy using microbes, we can make communities more sustainable. Yeah. Of course, responsible consumption, every Other Friday, I use each Friday for organic farming to the community, no cost. We fund, we don't charge anybody. Friday in Langkawi is a holiday. So I teach, so the government people can come for class when they are, those who are interested. From the beginning, we talk about edible landscape, edible garden. Yeah, why can't we eat our landscape? Yeah, so this is where, you know, I say mangoes, we get 1.5 ton. We have longan, mulberry, Indian gooseberry, calamansi, coconut, papaya. So this is what we talk about edible landscape. The people find it unusual because in a resort, not many resort, I don't think so, any star rated resort from the start, like what we do 16 years back, plant edible landscape, because along the pathway I have either got tapioca or kangkong, I have plenty of mulberry, I have got kalalut, you know. So whatever we do here, we try to eat at least 50–60% of our landscape. We have a lot of herbs we grow. So again, as I say, we are trying to save costs. So this could be done. Of course, if you have a house, it will be a little bit challenging, especially those staying in the apartment. But if you got enough of sunlight, you can still grow. If it's a bit of shade, you can still grow. There are some trees or herbs, plant you can grow in shade, like kadok. Kadok can grow in shade, and you can fry them, very tasty. Or you can grow yam. Yam can also grow in shade. So there are plants that you can grow in shade and you can still eat them. Yeah. I won't read out everything y'all can read, so I'll just go along. Now you can see my freezer. I've got a large freezer. There are about 30 over containers of mango, but I have 3 freezers. So I have 100 over because during the lockdown, we have no gas, so I freeze all my mango. And you can see the second picture up, those are kadok or sirih tanah or wild pepper. They're just going along the side of my laundry and maintenance office. You can see right at the center, the purple color flower is water hyacinth. The red color is actually azora, then you got the blue pea flower. So all this is actually from our garden. The person in red is one of our chefs. Yeah, so he is harvesting from our garden. That is our farm, an acre farm at the back. And what is on the plate are all from the garden. Yeah. This is our wetland where we also raise fish. And it's also treat our raw sewage. Now, you'll be wondering whether you can eat the fish from raw sewage. Well, by the time it go through the system, the water is class 1 drinking standard. Yeah, the big pot on the right, that is in front of our resort. We rear fish there, but it's not deep because if you have a lot of a resort, you better make sure it's safe. So it's only 2 feet deep. Yeah, and we have no filter. The filter is the living plants and microbes. They clean the water. Well, we have chicken and duck and turkey and geese. So this is, but we don't really breed to eat, but eggs, yeah, and for the kids to for have fun. Our wastewater also water our garden. Yeah. I say we have planted over 2,000, close to 3,000 trees. So this is the past 30 years. Now it's already 16 years. In I say life below water, we now managed to get 40 million from EPU to clean the water from Pantai Tengah, half of Chenang. So we really, so no wastewater goes into the sea. We show people that, and in Redang, some have adopted our system. And recently, the Ministry Besar or the Chief Minister of Pahang came over on Christmas Day to see whether they can implement it on Tioman Island. So, life below the sea, we help community. If you have no dirty water into the sea, then you look after the ocean. Yeah, so we have technology there. So this bioremediation, we are constructed wetland. Yeah? So we are purifying water, yeah, using plants. Yeah, and it's not new. People started to realize this system in the 60s, very popular in the 70s, and it's almost all over the world. It's just that people use what you call static. If you, in our country, you can see Putrajaya. It's a very big wetland, but a lot of the wetland plants are left there. They are not dynamic management. Yeah, you can go to YouTube. You can see lots of videos on bioremediation through constructed wetland, clean water. Sometimes they use it to polish, but we can actually treat raw sewage and any polluted like leachate from waste dump. You can also clean it through the system. Now, constructed wetland can be used for domestic as well as industry. And the cost of operation is low, but you need a bit of land. But now we are experimenting and reducing the size of the land now. Yeah, we are researching, and there's very possibility we will be able to carry it through by reducing the land 4 times smaller, but we have to make the depth of the pond 4 times deeper. Then we do artificial housing and artificial lighting and adding oxygen into the water for the microbes to live and work. So this is what wetland can be used for: domestic sewage, agriculture washing, wastewater, industrial effluent, housing, municipal sewage, landfill runoff, urban road stop runoff, mine, tails, heavy metal, stream, river, lake. So many things could be used in a wetland. Yeah, but we have lost the concept of using nature. You notice a lot of our rivers and drain, they concrete it. In many developed countries who understand the wetland system, they are now breaking up all the concrete bank of drains and rivers and go back to natural sort of percolation. That means the plants will treat the water and the water will recharge the groundwater. So this is coming back to natural, what you call environment engineering or eco-engineering. Yeah. So time change, people realize that nature can help, but you have to give the opportunity to nature. We offer a sustainable solution, inexpensive compared to conventional, low maintenance cost, effective treatment, aesthetic. Some of them have flowers and fishes and ducks, so they look nice, low cost maintenance. We started the first wetland in our jungle lodge in Gombak. I started my little hotel business there. We had a hostel of 120, and this main building had 5 rooms for 25 people. So that was 1991, and I didn't want to damage the Gombak River upper reaches for drinking water. we built our wetland. So that was the first wetland I built in 1991. Actually, all the kitchen water will come here. That is a hostel and meeting room that sleeps 120 people. So you can look at plants, nice, but they're actually treating the wastewater and we eat fish from there. There's 3 ponds actually. Now, a shortcut to feed the fish. You can see the little hut up there. We are actually breeding black soldier fly as the maggots will feed on the waste food. As they mature, they crawl out, they drop down to the water and it feeds the fish. So this is a very simple way of feeding the fish without buying a lot of food. Wetland plant needs to be controlled, especially water hyacinth. You can see the bamboo on the lower picture. That's to control the water hyacinth growing. So when they reach there, we'll reduce it to half, and that one we compose and feed it to the chicken and ducks. Yeah, and you can see the plants, the yam plants. Yeah. So we have 3 ponds, and from here we also grow paddy. This is our wetland in the hotel in Langkawi. Again, I say the normal wetland is about 1.2 meter. Now we are building a 5-6 meter pond, so increasing the depth so that we can reduce the space. Yeah. So when you say black water is from the sewage, gray water is where we bathe and wash, and soap water. Yeah, it treats everything. We mix everything together. But because when we purchased the property in 2005, one of the main septic tank was not operating anymore. So we dumped raw sewage into the beginning of the river, which happened to be now a pond. This is our wetland. Excuse. You know, I normally go to bed at about 10 o'clock because I wake up at 4:30 to 5 to start doing my work and research. Yeah. So, but because Adi is a good friend, it's fine to teach. So, again, we grow a lot of fruit in whatever space. On the left, if you see the box there, that is another type of wetland. It's called subsurface flow. It goes below the ground and feeds my fruit trees. Yeah, so they are horizontal sort of wetland, which is the pond. Yeah, subsurface wetland. So this is the result. You can see this is under drinking water standard. Yeah, you can see not detectable, non-detectable, no, ND is non-detectable. So we are actually class 1 in drinking water standard. Yeah, 30 perimeter, you can see. So when the minister saw this result in 2011, said, wow, you can drink this shit water. I said, sir, we don't drink it. We just want to show you the power of nature. They can clean to such an extent. He says, all you have to do is filter and UV. You can drink the shit water. I said, no, 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 no. We just use it for the garden. Yeah. So this from our wetland. Most people use wetland to treat wastewater, but I use wetland to grow food. So it's our wetland farm. Water mimosa, you can eat pandan leaf, you can eat fishes, water hyacinth flower, yam, keladi, duckweed. Yeah, we got kangkong. So, you know, you could not only treat, but we only take it when there is no heavy metal. Yeah. So this again, the same chef housing from the front of the hotel, the pond. So this duckweed. Duckweed is, you find them in paddy fields, you find them on river. They sort of almost natural, they carried by duck, but you look at the protein content, dry weight, 38%. Yeah. So There's high protein. You can also eat it, yeah, beside animal eating it. Yeah. These are some of the plants. The water hyacinth at the bottom, purple color flower. You can have it like a salad. The velvet lily is also edible, the young shoot with the yellow flower. Now, we also have to replenish our groundwater. We are putting too much concrete as flat, on roads. We are not charging the groundwater sufficiently. The more the ground absorbs the water, less flooding will take place because we are putting concrete everywhere. Yeah, so this is something of just a simple that I took out from the webs, the internet. So just charging the groundwater. So this is what we do to charge the groundwater from our car park. And you see the yellow hole that I've dug. Yeah, they used to grow plants there, but you know, I just leave it there. Some places have plants, but currently it's just empty. When the rain comes, it fills there. Same thing. Yeah, all over the car park, we actually charge the groundwater recharge. Now we have issue of erosion. So on the left, you can see clearly the casuarina roots are exposed because of we're losing the beach. So you can see on the right, we have actually built gabion and we have replenished back the sand. You can see the roots now covered by sand. So during the high tide, during the monsoon period here in Langkawi, which is May to November, is the opposite time of the East Coast. The East Coast monsoon is October till March. October to March is quiet here. The monsoon starts in May to November. Yeah. So you can see we have done a system to replenish and stop soil erosion. So early days we bought rocks, expensive. Now we just use our construction material to build the gabion. Yeah, you can see again how badly eroded our beach is, but we have built the gabion and it's filled back. But you can see the material right at the bottom. It's all old construction material. Yeah. Again, through learning, the first 3 years, we lost a lot of the small stone during the monsoon. Now, far right, we weave back the small rocks so that during the next monsoon, we will not lose our small rocks. So again, learning from experience and nobody's teaching us. This is original on the left. How when we purchased a property in 2005, the beach is flat, but now it's eroded. But we have grown the beach. You can see on the far top, yeah, right? You see the coconut tree, a little bit of it on the right. So there are new coconut trees there. Yeah, we have grown the beach, or we let the shore plants grow. So now it's about 10, 15 meters further onto the beach. So to hold the beach using the strength of Mother Nature. Now, there is also green hotel in ASEAN. Yeah, so this is similar to green building, and all the ASEAN 10 countries follow the same criteria. So the baseline understanding is there, and we do train the trainer for ASEAN. First training was in 2016, and we're supposed to do in December 2020 grant given by Jakarta, but you know, COVID, so this has been postponed to 2021, can't do it. Now it's 2022 year end. So we do train the trainer, and I say we are hands-on. People are happy to know that you save money. You have to save money when you do talk about green practice. So these are some of the criteria you use. Yeah, I go back again. Environment policy, action for hotel, use of green product, collaboration with community and local organization, human resource development, solid waste management, energy efficiency, water efficiency, air quality, noise pollution, wastewater treatment, toxic material, chemical, but they didn't have food security. So during my class, I say food security must be included because the ASEAN Green Hotel Rating did not have that. Now, we go back to integrated organic farming, which I met Dr. Adi in his farm in Terengganu. So we're all learning, but I've been doing farming for the last 16 years, still learning. Yeah, you never stop learning. Thank God we have the internet, we have got the YouTube, we have got so much we can learn online and teaching online like now. Now this is what I do in my farm in Gombak, and I do what we do in Langkawi. Yeah. So natural biopesticide, neem, lemongrass. I won't go too much detail. Rice, because rice is the main staple food, but we do SRI, system rice intensification. It is a system that was developed in Madagascar by a Jesuit priest. You use 70% less water, and the roots are bigger, so you get more yield in the paddy. Yeah, fruit trees, aquaculture. People have talked about hydroponic. Yeah, that's all chemical. You need to do aquaponic, but you combine aquaculture and planting, you got aquaponic. Yeah. So you need to look at chicken, duck. We had goats in Gombak. Now I've sold everything because of COVID. You know, I stopped farming there. I just focus on Langkawi because not many people can teach. So if you talk about vermicompost, compost, EM, for those who are familiar, effective microorganism, you got EM1, EM2, EM3, EM4. So basically playing around with microbes. The Japanese and the Koreans are very good at this area. Biochar is ancient, but it's brought back. It was discovered in the 1400s by European going to South America. They realized they found civilization living in a small area, supporting a lot of people, and they realized it was biochar, charcoal used in farming, and the soil is still rich after a few hundred years. Yeah, conserved wetland, which is what I've been talking about, to clean water, and stingless bee, honey produced through the flowers that you grow. Yeah, and black soldier fly, which is very important. I will just go through this later on. Yeah, so the fly has got 43.6% protein. Now it's sold in pet shop for a kilo 20 to 30 ringgit. To go even deeper, now gym for muscle building, they're selling a black soldier fly maggot powder, even much more expensive because it's so rich in protein. And you're only using food waste. So you're not buying anything, food waste that people throw away, and you are breathing the maggots. The black soldier fly is the same family as housefly, Hermetia, but the black soldier fly mimics a wasp. It's long, about an inch, and it's got a black stripe, a white stripe around the waist, look like a wasp, but it doesn't have a mouth. Yeah, they don't eat. Only the maggots feed, but the adults only live to mate and die. They die within 5 to 8 days. The male, after mating, die off. The female lay eggs, and then they die off. So they don't carry any disease because they don't eat the adults. So this is my farm in Langkawi. Yeah, we're composting, recycling, rabbit house. That's how you see the little fly. That is how the black soldier fly looks. But we build a love house to breed them, yeah. And we collect 100 to 300 kilos of waste from other hotel and restaurant. That's pre-COVID. Now we are not collecting anything because nobody has waste food. I still have a small black soldier fly, 5 containers. I breed them from the wild and feed them with food that we have in the ground. Yeah, chicken, solar dryer, my wetland, my stingless bee. Why integrated? It needs, because there's no waste. One will work with the other. It's a closed loop. Yeah. So we look at sustainability, food security, reducing costs, increasing income, reducing, stress on our land. Now, food is a very, very serious issue because population is growing, and how are we going to have food? Now, do understand, majority of the food that is produced in the world today are not from big companies. 80% is from farm of 2 acres and below. That means 1 hectare and below. 80%. Yeah, a lot of the food you see big machine growing corn, wheat. It's more to feed animals. Yeah, so this is something which we all can. So you don't need to be a farmer. You can have it in your garden. You can have it in your apartment. Just grow little stuff. So we are talking about, the next 30 years. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna feed? Yeah, in Malaysia we import. We spend about 55, now 60 billion a year. We import. We send 30 billion to Singapore. So there's a negative of about 25 to 30 billion. Yeah, and there will be opportunity for young people. So we talk about, when you do farming, you talk about the soil. And this is the latest in soil improvement is biochar. Yeah, it reduces leaching, the nitrogen. Basically it's housing for micro and moisture. Yeah, so there's another chapter on biochar if you want to learn. Go to YouTube. Yeah, and I made a mistake in the past. I thought you just add charcoal to your compost and then you plant. No, biochar is charcoal, but it's got negative charge. So you need to charge the biochar. You need to actually soak it together with compost or goat poo or cow poo or urine for about 2 weeks to a month, so that the microbe will go into the charcoal, and because they will take out the metal. So your plant, if you don't charge it, you will not see any positive effect for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah. So it's important you charge the biochar. And there are different ways of making charcoal. Forget about, the drum system. 2 drum, you have to cut the wood in small pieces. Start the campfire, and when all the wood, so you can have big woods, when they have become amber, just pour water over. you get your charcoal. Or dig a hole in the ground and throw all your wood and then you burn. Simple, not expensive, yeah, and you get your charcoal. So compost, vermicompost, you use the help of earthworm, and that's another chapter. Just go to YouTube, but you all have to try it out. You cannot just be just reading online, listening. There's no other way but to dirty your hands to see how it works. Yeah, so this is what we do. 90% of the plants today are grown this way. You can see I put cardboard. Now, of course, we put, in the early days now, there were not much trees. Today, there are so many trees. So inside cardboard, we lay the bottom with 8 inches of leaf, yeah, to hold water. And then we mix compost and waste food, because the compost has got microbes to start the decomposition, and we mix with the soil that we have dug up. So we do 2 layers. That means the first layer could be the 8 inches of leaf, but we also throw in branches and this and that, and then the food and compost and soil mix, and then come back to leaf again. So the leaf will give the oxygen. Yeah, the compost with waste food, the microbes as a starter, the waste food as the compost liquid comes out, and this is where you have the oxygen in between, because the leaf will provide that air space. Yeah, so you don't have to turn your compost in this way. After 6 weeks, you can start planting. Yeah, this is a shortcut. And the leaves we bury around the trees, so that is how nature works. If you go to the forest, how does it survive? From the leaf. 90% of the nutrient is still in the leaf. Yeah, so that's how we do it. So we're just mimicking nature. So you come to the resort, I have holes everywhere, we bury the stuff. Yeah, so this is in Gombak. We collect waste food for composting, vermicompost, and also the black soldier fly. Now the black soldier fly, as say, they produce very well. Each clutch of eggs is about 400 to 800 eggs. Yeah, each clutch, they are very tough, small. When they mature, they crawl out. So self-harvesting. They eat almost anything. Yeah, so they're clean. If you don't overfeed them, they don't smell. Yeah, they eat like crazy. So each maggot will eat is equal weight every 24 hours. Yeah, and they taste great. Sometimes I serve them in my restaurant, and I had a lot of black soldier fly maggot. It's like anchovies. Yeah, biopesticide. You identify plants that not eaten by, attacked by insects or fungi or pests, and that is one of the material. You mix it together, like spider lily, almost nothing attacks it. Bougainvillea, almost nothing attacks it. Yeah, lalang. Yeah, you mix all this. Of course, if you have neem, fantastic, because there's antivirus, antibacterial, antifungus. 50% of aromatic medicine uses neem. So this is what we talk about biopesticide. Yeah, fish amino acid for nitrogen, because a lot of people clean the fish, the gill, the lungs, and you just throw it away. So that is, you can use it as a pesticide, as also a fertilizer. Ecoenzyme, yeah, 1-3-10, 1 kilo of brown sugar, 3 kilo of fruit skin, and 10 liters of water. Yeah, compose it, and that's your, you can clean your room, you can clean your floor. Yeah, well, the whole idea is to educate people, provide people agriculture knowledge, a way of healthy eating, again, doing research and then implement it as you learn. less input, more output, because we're not buying anything. And to show that organic farming could be a future, but we need technology, we need innovation. As I say, food is the future as the population about healthy food. Yeah. So this is something which we all have to look at, because food security is a very big issue. Dr. Adi, myself, we have we are in a few organic farming chat group to share best practices and learn from each other. Yeah. So hopefully, we have people who are interested. In case for those who want to volunteer and learn, we always take people in. You work 5 days a week, 3 meals are provided. You use the resort facilities, for those who are interested. Yeah. We always look for volunteers. Yeah. So this is what we have. We all have to start producing food. Yeah, healthy food, not chemical, no pesticide. Yeah. So this is we need to give access to knowledge. We need to train people, educate people, so everybody can farm. Yeah. All schools should have little gardens to teach. Yeah, which is not happening here. But I believe we all should go for it. Yeah. Because you realize today food cost is gone sky high here. They're going higher and higher. So I believe that it will cause a lot of economic issue if we don't start doing things ourselves, so we are not controlled. So we are talking about big population in the next 20, 30 years. So let's all sort of help each other and grow food. Yeah. And I say energy, there's lots of green technology out there, solar, hot water, solar, electric. So I won't go too much. I say I want to have more time for question and answer. Okay. So this is what we have done at our resort. Solar hot water, solar photovoltaic, our electric vehicles. Yeah, after COVID, it's make us more efficient working now. I have 6 electric vehicles, 1 for each department: front office, housekeeping, landscape, maintenance, F&B, and I have 1 myself, so to check on things and also to work in the garden. Yeah, this is all common, everybody go LED, you save energy. So that is my little talk, sharing what I do at the resort. We are still learning, we are still researching, we are still improving, so that we can share this with others and save money. Yeah. Okay. Dr. Adi, back to you. Any question and answer?
Okay. Thank you so much, Professor. And that was a wonderful overview of all the great things that have done. And I believe that that your enterprise is a big example of a socially responsible business that is really like walking the talk and not just ad hoc PRO. Really integrate a sense of social responsibility to the business, and that's something that we focus in this course, that we earn our livelihood through promoting the livelihoods of all others. So all right, with that we open the floor to question, answer, comments, and right, please.
I think Alia, have you got a question? Would you like to unmute? And then after that, Seda.
Please introduce yourself briefly and then go in with a question.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Beautiful talk. Really appreciate it. Really enjoyed it. Really informative. Hopefully, we can implement a lot of things that Dr. Wong has shared with us. I'm Alia. I live in Spain, in Granada, and I help Fatima from Azahara a little, and I also have a 1.2 hectare of land, so and want to go forward into all this eco and organic thing. So I have a question, because it's all very nice to intend to do all this. However, sometimes our governments are not really encouraging or promoting or enough and supporting us. So I just want to know, you know, how challenging it is to work with the government to meet the requirements, their requirements, and what can we do to work better together. You know, yeah, this is my question.
Okay.
The challenges that you have met in from your experience, and advice on how to work together with the government. You know.
Very, very challenging. The first thing when I started my organic farm school, I've been organic farming for 16 years, was to approach the former agriculture university. But there are no more an agriculture at normal university. And when I told them I want to do integrated organic farming, they say, give me a grant, I research it, and I will come and teach you. I've been doing organic farming, you know, for 12 years. That was 4 years ago. I mean, why would I give you a grant? I've been doing organic farming for quite a few years. Now, it's very challenging in Malaysia because we don't really have support from the government. You can check with Hadi. It's a joke. If you go chemical farming, they help you. They give you subsidy. If you do chemical farming, pesticide, artificial fertilizer, because, you know, and natural farming, we don't need any. Everything comes from nature. Yeah, it's a circular thing. So they don't support you. They don't like you because you don't buy fertilizer. You don't buy pesticide. So it's no good for society. No good for them and their pocket. I think that's, you know what I mean? No sales, no incentive.
That's the problem. There's no money for them.
Yes, that's right. So I believe you have to just do things yourself and build up your own network of community, and people who know that you're doing healthy food, they come and buy at a little bit higher price. They know it's for the children, it's for health. And you notice that, I'm not sure in your country, in my country, the last 10 years, the organic section of the supermarket is growing more and more and more. More people are aware of the value of natural organic food. Yeah, because many young people have cancer today. They suffer from hormone imbalance. They have got more ADHD. There's a lot of issues with children today because of the chemicals the mother are consuming and the children are consuming. Obesity is a big issue because a lot of the food is sugar and it is not complete. Yeah, so that's all I can tell you. Dr. Hadi can also tell you, and he knows there's no support. What do you say, Dr. Hadi?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think, yeah, I mean, there's so much, I mean, there's so many things like, and the government are so many interests that they are all at cross purposes. So the quickest way is to do things on your own with friends and slowly grow your local network, right? Yeah. Your network, and then and when you grow a good food and then people buy, so you create that network, and that network will gradually become like a local economic network that support. So talking about network, so please, when you guys come to Malaysia, please support Frangipani Resort. Go and visit Langkawi and support Mr. Wong and support Professor Wong. All right. Next question.
Sister Seida, would you like to ask your question?
Yes, sure. I'm Saida Ahmed. I'm actually from England, so nearer Manchester. I live in a small town called Halifax. And my question really is that sounds so amazing, Professor Wong. I caught the last part of your presentation, and I want to know from my part, I'm now working alongside the OIC. I have an MOU with the food production division within the OIC, which looks at the rollout of organic, sustainable, halal products, because I think that there's a disconnect occurring in the global halal economy. We have concentrated on meat and no alcohol and all of that side, whereas actually the substantial part of what the Muslim diet is about, it should really be about eating natural, eating healthy, organic. So my question to yourself would be, has any work been done by yourself, or is there any work being done to connect this whole integrated agriculture and farming within the halal economy? And if not, is there scope to look at doing that?
Here in Malaysia, we connect all the organic farmers together, whether they are Muslim and non-Muslim, because most of us are breeding goats and cow, chicken, duck. We don't talk about pigs here. So yeah, so none of the organic farmers are pig breeders. They are all chicken, mostly chicken and duck and goat. That's it. And of course, it is the slaughtering. In Malaysia, all the animals are, beside pig, are slaughtered halal. If you don't slaughter them halal, there is no market for you. Yeah.
But you know, with the food that you're growing, because I think vegetables are halal.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you don't have to certify the vegetables. Yeah.
Yeah. So have you found much reception from the halal economy for the vegetables? Because what you're doing is providing organic food, which is very important to the Muslim diet. Are you finding much connection and openness from the Muslim world?
Okay. Currently, I'm just doing farming in the hotel, and I serve all this food to my guests, be it Muslim or Christian or Hindu or Indian, because it's vegetables.
Yes.
Yeah. And all my chefs are Muslim.
Okay.
So there's no issue of halal here. Yeah. Because we don't serve pork. But Langkawi is duty free, so people drink.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of Muslim guests from Middle East, they drink also actually.
Yeah.
So I believe here, first of all, we are trying to help people to do organic farming. That's the basis of it. And then it's up to them to choose what they want to do. The main problem in our country, we cannot get farmers. The local don't want to do farming. So now we are forced to bring in from countries that does farming, like in Bangladesh, in Indonesia, Pakistan, Nepal, but farmer. So we bring farmer to our place so they can continue helping us to do farming, because a lot of them don't want to work under the sun.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it is an issue here. Yeah.
Yes.
Because although they get the same salary, sometimes more as a farmer, but because if you are dark, you are not looked or up to. If you are dark, you are a laborer. Yeah. So this is the issue here. Yeah. So,
and in England, we lie under the sun to get dark.
So, but it's different, you know. Yeah.
Yes.
So we have a big challenge. I have general managers. I spend my time farming.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm on my knee a lot of the time, so I wear knee guard. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
Just to add to that question, in general, the halal industry is more on negative. It's more about no pork and no alcohol. So it's very superficial, right? So there's very little movement towards like a substantive notion of halal in terms of healthy, wholesome diet, organic ingredients, in terms of fair trade. So currently, I mean, not only Malaysia but the rest of the world, the halal sector is kind of quite shallow, like shallow. So and last time have a guest, Sister Jumatun, who was active in the halal industry. Last time she gave this insider expose how the halal industry is suddenly captured by big corporations like Nestle and so on. And of course, they sell the same junk food, but then they call it halal simply because there's no pork. But they still have all the toxic stuff, all the artificial flavors, and all the chemicals. But that's halal simply because there's no pork. So it's kind of very shallow. So I mean, if the OIC wants to upgrade the standard of halal to include wholesome, natural ingredients and organic and so on, I think that would be a good thing. That would make put more substance to the name halal, right? But right now, halal name is kind of, it's just like a empty brand, right?
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah, so, it's up to you. You're active in the relevant agency of the OIC, anyway, you can get people, the policy makers, to put in more content and more substance. More of tayyib, the wholesomeness, rather than just the shallow, permissible. No? Anyway.
Absolutely. I think there's a big missed opportunity there. And this is where we need to look at, for example, how Professor Wong mentioned that there's a group of organic farmers. Maybe we can have conversations with those organic farmers to look at how we can raise awareness in the Muslim communities and the halal community, why organic farming is so important for our health and for our faith.
Yes. Sidi Rhamis Kent, my co-teacher in the course, had a lot of experience working with Muslims in the Middle East, in Jordan, Egypt, and so on. I think he's the best guy for you to contact and to maybe get the OIC moving into putting heart and soul into the label halal. Good.
Assalamualaikum, Sister Setia. Maybe let's connect and then we'll introduce you to the Rhamis as well. If you just share your contact details with me, I'll help facilitate that.
I'd be happy to do that. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I was just going to invite Sister Fatima to ask her question.
Assalamualaikum. Oh, sorry. Hello. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been really very inspiring. I wanted to ask you specifically about the water, the aquaculture. It's something I've been wanting to do in Spain, which is quite a sort of a dry climate. And then the question is how to start, because we have we know where the water comes out of all the houses, and it's just we don't know what to do now. The next step, but we know the water's coming out. We know where it's coming to, and the land is not flat like your land. We've got terraces. It's like terraced land going down the mountain, and they're not sort of huge flat areas. So we have the idea to bring the water from all the houses, from the toilets, from the sinks, from the kitchen, and to do what you're doing, and then to be able to irrigate the land. But would you give any advice of how to begin or where to look to start this process?
Okay.
Thank you.
Any water, unless you percolate into the ground as it goes down the hill, is it in a drainage? Is it in pipe?
Yes, it's in from the houses. It goes out into through a pipe.
A pipe, yes.
So when it comes out, we could actually collect the water in that place, or we could direct it to another place. It comes out in a pipe from the houses. It comes out in a pipe.
Yeah. Okay. Now you need, if you don't have a flat ground, it still doesn't matter, because you can use, if it goes into a big drain, does it go to a big drain eventually?
No, well, in different places. There's sort of 3 main places where the water from the houses comes out. One of the places, which is where we use most of the water, it just goes into the land. It just sort of sits there. There's no specific tank there.
Okay.
The other places, there's like these separator tanks.
No. Now what you do is, because it goes into the ground, you need to hold the water. Yeah. So if you need to hold the water, there is a material, it's a geotech material, it's like a rubber material. You dig a little pond, and you line the pond with the geotech material so that it holds the water. Yeah. It's all dirty water, of course. It comes from all the houses. You have oil and things like that. That pond, if you can, you make 3 ponds, because one to the other, so that in each pond we actually grow different plants, so that the different plants would absorb different minerals, different nutrients, when you say or different pollutant. Yeah, so as it goes from one to the other, the quality improves. Yeah, the first pond will tend to have a lot of oil. So in that pond, you have got microbes that will eat the oil. So you won't have oil slick. Yeah. So it's always best to have at least 3 ponds. The last pond will be very good water. You rear fish, you can eat the fish. So that 3 pond is a basic concept. Now, you need to find out how much volume of water that is discharged. How many households have you got in the total collection of household? That will decide the size of the pond.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And of course, you also look for plants that are very fast growing. There are also plants, but there are plants that grow faster than others. So you grow those type of plants, they will absorb the heavy metal, the whatever pollutant there. And this plant could be used to compost, to grow fruit, to grow flowers. If you don't eat, you have heavy metal, so you can grow flowers. Or if you don't have heavy metal, because if it's no factory, you won't have heavy metal. So you can actually grow fruit trees. Yeah. So it's not discharged. So all this could be reused for something better. So you don't lose the precious polluted water. You can convert it to good quality water. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you very much. So you have the water going from one. Sorry, from one. So the pond. How do we work out the size of the pond that we need? Sorry, very simple questions.
Very simple question. You need to know the volume of water total, and then you want to retain the water for say 3 to 4 days.
Okay.
So, so this is where you want to run the water slowly, and you have the plant to slow down to absorb the heavy metal. So basically 3 to 4 days retention. So that's where the different pond comes into play. One fill up and then flow to the other one, fill up, flow to the other one. So it could be sort of like a cascading, just overflow, flow. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, that's sort of thing. Yeah. Okay.
I'm already imagining it. It looks beautiful already. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Wong. Hello, my name is Farah. I'm also in England, and I was intrigued by what you said, that we should all, you know, take on this initiative even in our own homes. And you had one slide which talked about, you know, why have everything integrated, and that's because it, obviously things feed into one another and it makes it sustainable.
Yes.
In a home garden, just an average size, so I don't know how I would even, it's like 20 by 20, so 400 meters squared.
That's
you
a
can't
big
do
place.
Everything. Well, it's,
Yeah,
it's
no,
reasonable.
you don't do everything, but you have to.
So what would be sorry to say, I was just going to say, so what would you say is a good place to begin? What would be a priority? We've got a lot of rain. Heat is the problem here. We've got enough water. What would be a good way to start in more of a domestic setting?
Yeah. Don't look at the big farm. Start in your backyard. Yeah. Start in your backyard. But vegetables are very straightforward. It's the animal. In England, I think it's very strict. Depends where you stay, you can't have chicken. Can you have chicken?
I think you can keep some if it's only for your domestic purposes.
Yes.
But there's
only
foxes
domestic
around here. Yeah.
Okay. Then you have to keep them in a cage or in a netted place, or you rear rabbits. Do you eat rabbits in England?
You do. We haven't yet, but that's interesting. So you feel there's an animal element that would be useful.
Why I have an animal? Either the chicken will eat the waste food, or the rabbit will eat the waste vegetable that's left behind, or the weed that grows. So what I'm trying to do is to get a cycle where the poo of the animal is your fertilizer for your vegetables and plants and fruit trees.
Oh, interesting. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because you need to, or else you have to shit in your garden.
Have to scoop up what the fox leaves behind, but no, I know what you're saying. So
you know, you don't need to have big animals. You can have small, and you can even have guinea pigs. Yeah. So the whole idea is, where is your fertilizer coming from beside the compost? Yeah. And when you grow vegetables, there are a lot of parts you don't use, so that is fed to the animals.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a cycle.
So we are trying to make use of things that people throw away.
There is manure available, which is interesting, which is kind of free, sort of people have to collect it themselves.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
But you can go and get that. Yeah, I mean, I haven't started yet, so I haven't really gotten it. But I have a friend who does go. You go early, and it's a specific place, and manure is put there by the farmers, so it can be taken away.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. You know, because it's a resource. Yeah, it's a resource that you know, but you cannot use it fresh. You need to keep it for a while and mix it with leaves so that it gets diluted. Yeah, you need to let it sort of break down. Yeah, even though it's compost, but you have to let it break down because there is a lot of microbes in there. Some are not so good, so you let it compose. And if you have got a forest nearby, have you got a forest nearby?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. You collect soil from the forest, because the soil from the forest has got billions of different microbes. So you're going to add the variety of microbes into your compost, so that you have so many variety of microbes. You actually dilute the dangerous pathogens in there. Yeah. So when you have so many different microbes, it will outdo the dangerous microbes. So you have variety of microbes is better, and you got the fungus from the forest and things like that. That will help you. Yeah, because within your garden you may not have that many variety, but in the forest that been not touched for a long time, you got plenty of microbes. So these are local microbes that's nearby. So it's easy. Yeah.
And like you said, thank goodness for YouTube, because I have been looking at it, and the very things that you said about using wood and leaves as well. It just means that, because compost is actually very expensive to buy,
Yes.
and you need a large amount even for any kind of container.
Correct.
So this idea of trying to use what's there, we get boxes, deliveries, using boxes for the beds.
Correct.
And just, I'm beginning on that, but I felt that the integrated idea is very interesting, because we have so much rain here, but then our summers are getting very hot. So then you get this time when it's parched, really parched, and you can't water really enough because the sun's so strong. So it's got the extremes, and maybe things like having a water butt to actually catch the rain and keep it from sort of the very wet period we're having now. And use that as a way to, again, keeping in mind how you were saying to keep it circular, which actually helps to make it sustainable.
Yes. Correct.
Thank you. Very inspiring.
We are not doing something new. Our great-grandparents were keeping animals and their fruit trees, their vegetables. They were already practicing sustainability to the 10th power of 10. It's just that we have forgotten it, and large companies are just mono farming. Yeah, but they are killing the land. They are losing the soil. They're taking off the carbon. So we're going back and putting carbon back into the soil. A very important, charcoal. The key to holding the microbes and keeping the soil moist is charcoal. Simple charcoal we've been doing charcoal for 5,000 years. Yeah, so all things are being brought back. Yeah.
Charcoal was completely new for me. I had not come across that at all. So that's something I've written down to do some more research as to how I can get it here. You can't burn things very easily here because of the pollution. So you can't really burn on any sort of scale in your garden.
Okay.
So charcoal was very interesting.
Yeah, it's not a big burn. It's 10% burning in the total amount. So it's burning with little oxygen. So you're making your own charcoal. You're not doing a big fire or anything. You can burn small. Yeah, you can use it. You can use anything. The charcoal can come from paddy husks. They can come from any branches. So small things, but just less oxygen. That's all.
So, so if I may just interject just a moment, that I think maybe something that would clarify what's being referred to here in sort of in more current parlance. It's called biochar now, and the process that's used to make it is pyrolysis.
Pyrolysis, correct. It's just normal charcoal. When you use charcoal into farming, it's called biochar. Yeah, and charcoal has got a negative charge, so you take out the nutrients from your compost in the first 2 weeks to 3 weeks. So you need to charge it up first. Yeah. So if you got cow dung, it's fantastic. You got horse dung, it's fantastic. You mix the biochar together. Yeah. So there are many ways of making charcoal. So go to YouTube, click on to biochar, how to make biochar, but you could burn it, go to a place where you can have a campfire. Yeah, I'm sure there are places you can have little campfire, and that's where you make your charcoal.
Yeah. It's overly regulated, everything here, but you're right. So I'm going to look into that, because that seems like it's a good thing to use, really. Seems to be a lost secret. Oh, you've brought it back to us. So I will look into that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Mr. Wong, you can create a charcoal from rocket stove, right? They have a small rocket stove again, right?
Yes, so, you can do a rocket stove and do it, but as you say, I'm just always teaching people simple stuff.
Oh yeah, right.
the rocket stove, it depends how big it is. You still have to cut it into the right size. It's a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
And place it together. So here I just start a campfire and I put water over it. Very straightforward, and I can burn a ton of wood in a very short while. You try to do a ton of wood with a rocket a stove. How long it will take you to go through a ton of wood, right?
Sure. Right. All right.
I have about 20 tons of wood at the moment in my garden.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Any question?
I had a question, and if anybody else would like to put their hand up, then they can be next. Thank you so much, Professor Wong. It's just been so fascinating to hear about your integrated kind of approach, and it's been lovely to hear this. I actually am very interested. I think, as you mentioned, like you have to get your hands dirty, and it'd be lovely to know more about this scheme that you mentioned to come and visit and volunteer and then learn.
Oh yeah. I mean, I always tell my volunteer, you have to be at least 2 months. Yeah. Currently, I have a doctor doing 2 months with me because he's waiting for his housemanship, but he loves farming. Why 2 months? In 2 months, you can grow and see what you have done. You can see the vegetable from seed to eating. Yeah. We got to teach you the basic of soil, identify the soil, how to enrich the soil, composting, making raised bed, making from waste container into your garden. So some places, they don't have a proper, they cannot afford to buy pots. So you don't have to buy pots. So many, like currently we are painting our hotel. So all the waste paint container could be used. There's so much fast food because I have, we run a hotel, people buy fast food, they have got plastic container, plastic cups. We use that for nursery, for seeding. So there's so many things you can use without spending any money. Just spend time in the rubbish dump, that's all. Yeah. Yeah, save money. It's a resource, just how you look at things.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, I think some of us will have to plan a big trip to visit your resort and do some training with you, I think, inshallah.
I mean, it's lovely. It's like a vacation. It's like a working vacation by the beach, and the best place in the world to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. Yeah, exactly. I'd like to just ask Sister Ali, I think she's just got her hand raised. If you'd like to come up.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sorry, I have another question. Thank you for your time. Thank you. God bless you. The question is about the safety, the security of the food when recycled through recycled water. Sorry, when grown. Yeah, is there any websites with standards?
Okay. The two things now. The wastewater, by the time it finishes, is drinking standard. We test it every 6 months through a commercial lab, and there's a printout. That's where all architects, engineer, environment, ministry, they come and check my system. And they say, wow, this is drinking water standard. So this is what we are talking about, constructed wetland. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Now, if you have bath water, your bath water can go straight into your vegetable garden because you're bathing. Yeah, you're not using anything, you're bathing. Now, I've been doing this directly into my fruit trees, into my garden, because soap water is phosphate mostly, yeah, sodium phosphate. So it doesn't harm the tree. There's no heavy metal, so there's no issue. Yeah, we've been doing for 16 years now. But constructed wetland, depending on what waste water you're taking. If it's come from the industry with heavy metal, then you cannot take the plant that is treating the water. You cannot eat because the plant will have it. The heavy metal will be in the leaf, in the roots, in the stem. But you can compost them and feed them to flowering plants. You're not eating them, but you can grow roses, you can grow begonia, you can grow, flowering plants. Yeah. So depends on what wastewater that is coming out. If it's leachate from waste dump, plenty of heavy metal, toxic, then you cannot eat the fish, you cannot eat the plants. So depends where the wastewater origin. If it's from a sort of cow, if it's wastewater from a cow farm, I think it's not too bad, but you still have to watch for all the antibiotics. So you have to test the water. At the end, the water should be drinking water standard. Then there's no issue of using the water. I'm doing this in our sewage system, where we got 40 million, and I'm building a wetland there, and it has to be good enough. We test it, then it will be used for the paddy field.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome.
Have a good rest.
So is there any...
That's a very relevant question that you asked. Very, very relevant. Whether it's dangerous or not. Yeah, everybody asks, what is the quality that comes out? So everybody that comes here, and the National Wastewater Company that came, their CEO, their engineers, their chairman, they look at the water quality, they say, oh, you're cheating. It cannot be so good. How can it be so good? How can nature be so good? Nature took 4 billion years to do R&D. And you think you can do better than nature. So they cannot believe it. Yeah, because they are what you call typical engineers. It must be chemical to treat chemical. Yeah. So this is the issue.
Thank you, Dr. Wong. I think there's one, maybe we'll just take one last question because I know that it's getting quite late where you are. Sister Fatma, would you like to ask your question? Fatma, do you have your hand raised? Maybe it's up on the side. Oh, there you go.
No, thank you so much. Thank you. It's just following on from Alia's question. You said with the grey water, we can clean it very easily with the plants.
Yes,
but with the black water from the toilets, is it the same, or do we need a different same system?
Same system.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
In fact, grey water is better than, no, black water, sewage is better than grey water. Black water comes from your shit.
That's right, yeah.
Depends what you eat, unless you're eating poison and you're eating heavy metal. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any last little question that anybody wants to ask? And then maybe we'll wrap up.
You can contact me through WhatsApp. I prefer it. I can answer you anytime. Yeah, you just WhatsApp me. Maybe Dr. Adi, you can give my number, but I can tell you my number now. The country code is +6 019 289 5613. So you can actually ask me any question, and I will also send you YouTube of a particular information that you require.
I got as far as 289, Professor. Can you say the last bit?
Get your number, sorry.
Yeah, 019 289 5613. That's my mobile number, which we can WhatsApp.
I missed that one. If someone can put it in the chat, that would be great, and then everyone will be able to share it.
Yeah, just write it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did someone capture it?
I can also
you can share it.
The
Dr. Adi can forward.
Yeah, can forward to Sister Faiza, who is the manager of.
Yeah, that's the number. That's the number now. Z has 019-289-5613. That's the correct number.
Okay.
All right.
Brilliant. Thank you, Zainab.
So is Sidi Rhamis, are you still in the room? Maybe you like to have a closing comment. Sidi Rhamis Kent is my co-teacher from. Okay, it's now in the US. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I remember Mr. Wong from the last one of the last classes we taught, and I think it's really, and as we like to do with the speaker series, just having people like you is really I think very, very helpful and a very powerful way of communicating everything that we've been hoping to teach through this class. So I just want to thank you and tell you how much we appreciate you doing what you do, because you validate everything that that we are that we're advocating for. So we always talk about we always talk about how we need more working examples from as many different places around the world to just further strengthen what it is that we're talking about, and it's proof positive that it can be done. It's just a matter of being just smart and persistent and sincere and just being resolute and doing good work. So I just want to tell you how much we appreciate you being here, and thank you for what you do.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Adi, for getting in touch with the rest. Yeah. Happy to share.
Inshallah.
Share.
Thank you so much to you, Professor Mr. Wong. You are the professor of proof of concept. So I thank you so much, and I shall not keep you any longer, and God willing, we shall keep in touch, and maybe one day I'll come to Langkawi again and do some work.
Okay.
On your place. So thank you so much, and have a good rest, good night's sleep, and can get early and fresh. And thank you so much. I'll be talking to you through the WhatsApp. Okay. And I also once we got the live stream recorded, we'll send a link to this session. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night, all.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Night. God bless.
Thank you.
Okay. So, any post-session, whatever.